Hi everyone, I hope you are well. In today's topic, we will see how to easily create this kind of shockwave on Unreal Engine. Let's start. First, we need to create two different assets before diving into Unreal. The first one is the shockwave noise texture. For that, I'm using Photoshop in order to create it. On Photoshop, select your layer, go to Filter, Render, and select Clouds. You will now see a basic cloud noise texture on your layer. Then add a level to adjust the black and white value of your noise. After that, you just have to merge both layers. You can now press Ctrl plus A, then Ctrl plus C, go to Channels, add a new alpha map and pass your noise into it. You are now able to export your texture to your Unreal project. The second asset we'll need is our shockwave mesh. Go to your 3D modeling software, in my case 3ds Max. The goal will be to create a disk mesh. For that, create a new cylinder. Don't forget to show the edge faces, then replace it on the center. Set the height segment to 1 and sides to 32, then convert it to editable poly and remove the top and bottom polygon of the cylinder. You can select all vertices on top and shrink them down. Once done, set their Z coordinate to 0 and click multiple times on those XYZ icons in order to quickly group them on the center. You can select one of these edges and click on the ring button. After that, go to Connect and add 7 new edges. Then, in the modifier list, select Unwrap UV. Open the UV editor and you will see how will react your texture when it will scroll on the mesh UV. You can let the UV of your mesh like that, but in my case, I like to quickly replace them by hand to improve the scrolling movement. As you can see, with this technique, the texture scrolls faster on the center than the borders. Now you can export your disk mesh to your project. We can come back on Unreal and import our new mesh and our new texture. We need to create a curve atlas, so go there and select Curve Atlas. I just rename it Tuto Atlas Curve. With that, we need to create two curves, so we can select curve and choose linear color. The first one will be renamed Tuto underscore alpha curve. You can duplicate it by pressing Ctrl D and rename it Tuto color curve. Open the curve atlas, up, then open the alpha and the color one. Go to the atlas, add to the gradient curve two slots that will be the two curves we just created. So look for the Tuto alpha 1 and Tuto color curve. Perfect. We can save that and close it. Go to your alpha curve and we will just edit few things. Select this key, set it to white, and select this key and set it to black. It will be the fade out of our shockwave. You can improve that by selecting the keys, right-clicking, and select Auto. And on the color curve, it will be the shockwave. So for this, we will create few keys like here. So we need a dark key. It will be the border of the shockwave. So we need it to fade out to black. We'll also need some alpha key to improve this fade out effect. So select this, set it to 0 opacity and for this one too. And we can adjust the color by double clicking on that key and set the color that we need. I will select the strong red color with behind that a dark blue one. Up, just like that. Save it and we will create our material. Go to your material folder, go to material and rename it mtuto shock wave. We can directly create an instance from this material, so rename it material instance tuto shockwave, just like that. And now we can create the particle system. Create new Nagara system and select single looping particle, this one. Can rename it mtuto shockwave and place it in the scene. If you don't want to see the icons, you can press the G key, so it will hide everything and show you only the particles, like this one. So the last thing we need to do is open it to set up few things. First, we'll select our emitter state, select the life cycle mode to self, and click on infinite. After that, we will initialize the particle by an offset of the z-axis, so maybe 10. It will be okay to have the shockwave just above the floor. And add some more scale of the mesh because I know mine is pretty small to the scene. So select uniform, I will select something around 10. And the last thing I need to this particle system is a mesh renderer. I can delete the sprite renderer and adjust my mesh renderer by selecting the one we just created, so SM tuto disk. To have a custom material on your mesh, you have to enable the material override and add a material override slot. And you can choose the material instance we just created before. Material instance tuto shockwave 001. Once done, we can come back on the scene and see that we have a dark disk on the floor. This is our particle system. We can now start to edit the material. That will be the shockwave material. Open it. Before diving into the node stuff, we will just set few things. The blend mode, set it to additive and the shading to unlit. You can also set two-sided and make sure on the back that you have used with Niagara mesh particle selected, because if it's not, we'll have issue to control the material with Niagara dynamic parameter. We can save it and start playing with our graph. First, add the texture coordinate node, like this one. We will mask only the V channel, so use a component mask, select the green, and after that, we'll add a node called curve atlas raw parameter. This one will be our color ramp, up, like that. And we'll have to select the atlas and the curve we want. So in my case, tuto atlas and tuto color curve. If we connect that to emissive and opacity, we'll see that we will have something that looks like a basic shockwave and it's not moving. To solve that, we will use a dynamic parameter, this one. In the first slot, we'll create a parameter called wave offset. In the second one, a wave alpha scale up, just like that. So we have to connect those two parameters to the UV channel and to the alpha channel. So for the alpha scale, we just have to create a multiply node and put the wave alpha scale inside. Oh, sorry, I have a mistake there. Like that. And we can add the offset to the ramp. So just add an add node and put the wave offset on it. Now we will be able to control the offset with the particle system. So come back to your system, add a dynamic parameter and just enable the 2-1 we need. We can use that with everything we need as a value, but we just add some curves for both of them, one for the fade out and one for the traveling. So if we are looking just like that without touching the curve, you see that it's like nicely fade out and nicely traveling all around the mesh we just created. But we are missing something that is the shape of the shockwave. So for that, we'll come back to the material and we will add a texture sample like this one. You can convert it to parameter and rename it SDF texture, for example. Choose your texture you just created. So for me, it's Tuto Noise. And node, you just have to create an add node and add the R channel of this texture to the UV channel of the color ramp. Now you will see something that will change. It's that our shockwave just add a texture combined to the shockwave. We can improve the scrolling by going back on our particle. Yeah, just like that. And we'll adjust a few things on the curve to have something more juicy to watch. The first thing we'll adjust is the scale. So take this key on the left and put it on 0.5. You can also select both and break the tangent to have something automatic. And we will have something that is bright on the beginning and after that will fade out. And for the offset, we see that the shockwave don't finish to travel all around the mesh, so we'll increase the travel distance by taking the last key and add the value like maybe 0.5. Okay, this one is okay. I will just break my tangent and add a new key to improve the juiciness of the shockwave, just like that. So we now see that it's bouncing at the beginning and then slowing at the end before fade out. We have an issue, it's that you saw that the border are not fade out. It's just because we have something less to do, is to add the second ramp we made, so the alpha curve we just made there. So I will just quickly adjust this curve to have something better, maybe minus 0.75, yeah, something like that. Yeah, it will be okay. We can come back to our material and add our alpha ramp to our alpha channel. So right click, select curve atlas raw parameter, rename it alpha ramp. We select the same atlas, but we will select the other curve that is the alpha one. So for that, we will multiply the R channel of this one with the opacity channel. We can also link the texture chord to the curve time. And now you will see that it nicely fade out when it reaches the end of the mesh. We are missing of control about the texture. So what I recommend is to add more nodes to just control our SDF texture. The first one will be a parameter to promote on the multiply that will be called SDF scale. I will say maybe 0.5 as the default value, just like that. Apply, and then I I will need to adjust the tiling and the offset of this texture, so for that I will just create two constant, two that I will promote and rename, so convert to parameter, rename it tiling SDF, and this one promote, that will be SDF scroll speed, like this one. After that, we just have to create a few more nodes, like time node, multiply, and another multiply, and we can copy paste this texture coordinate there, like that. The last node we need will be an add and to make float 2, like that. We just have to link everything like that, so the SDF tiling multiply by the texture coord, just like that. Then the texture scroll speed to the make float 2 multiply by the time. Everything is added inside the UV coordinate of the texture, and I will just set the tiling by default on R channel 1 and G to 1. I will apply. So now the graph is finished. I can go to my scene and open the instance we created before. So open the instance. I will put it there to see what I'm doing. So as you see, there is a scale. I maybe want more definition of the noise, so I can put like 1. If I decrease it, you will see that it will be a round shockwave, but I want something with more noisy stuff. So this is good. And for the tiling, maybe we'll on the X channel 2 and the G1 maybe 0.5. Yes, it's better than before. And if I need, I can change the scroll speed of the SDF texture to add more noisy movement inside. Maybe something like 0.1. Yes, you see it's coming toward the center, so it's pretty cool. Yes, this one is cool. Perfect. Now the effect is finished, but we can go further by editing the material more, or just adjusting the noise texture. So maybe in my project I have something to show you, like I know this one. You know that we have something kind of different that could fit another artistic direction, but the result is pretty cool. So I let you play with that, and see you around with another tutorial. Bye.